Hope everyone's doing well. This is Jay from J&D's Retirement Journey. Today I'm going to go into why I started buying JP Morgan, the Nasdaq Equity Premium Income EFT, better known as JEPQ. It's pretty easy. I love those dividends. It pays close to 12% dividend, and that's quite a nice chunk of income every month. Right now I have 98 shares. And I just got paid almost $41. I just started investing this month. Our goal is to get to about 1,000 shares, which should take about 1.5 to 2 years to achieve. And when we get there, it should give us about $5,000 in yearly income, which is great. Let's jump in and see what this fund is all about. This information I got right off the JP Morgan website. It's a fact sheet. This fund generates income through a combination of selling options and investing in the U.S. large cap growth stocks, seeking to deliver a monthly income stream from associated option premiums and stock dividends. Seeks to deliver a significant portion of the returns associated with the Nasdaq 100 index with less volatility. You guys can read the rest. The fund managers, you got a gentleman with 36 years experience, another gentleman with 15 years, and the last gentleman with 10 years. It's a recent fund. It just launched May 3rd of last year, 2022. The expense ratio is 0.35, and so far they have a little bit over $5 billion dollars invested in this fund. If you guys find this information useful, please subscribe to my channel. Hit that thumbs up button and that bell notification. It would really help out the channel. I appreciate that. Thank you. All this information is right off the Charles Schwab website. I like to use the fund compare. I'm comparing it to the Schwab S&P 500 fund, which I also love. It's a great fund. So either of these funds, I believe you can't do bad with. They're both great funds, as you can see when we dig into them. Do your research. Talk with your financial planner. I am not a financial planner before you invest in anything. Now let's take a quick look at what the Schwab fund does. It invests in the S&P 500 index. The fund generally invests at least 80% of its assets in the stocks. Typically, the actual percentage is considerably higher. So as we could see here, you can compare the funds. The Schwab expense ratio, it's a lot less. It's 0.2 compared to 0.35. It also has a ton more money managed, $71 billion in the fund compared to $5 billion. But you could see it's been around since 1997, and JEPQ just started. As we dig in deeper, we can see the quotes here. JEPQ is trading at about $48. The Schwab S&P fund, it's about at 68. The range for JEPQ has been from 40 almost to 50, and the Schwab fund is 55.5 to almost 71. This is where it gets interesting. I love this monthly dividend. It's almost at the yield, distribution yield, it's almost at 12%, 11.8 for JEPQ. They pay it monthly. The S&P 500 fund pays about almost 1.5%, but it's paid annually. So there's a ton more income to be made in JEPQ. And the initial minimums for an EFT for JEPQ, you have to buy full shares. For the Schwab fund, there's $1 minimum, so you basically could invest anything you like on that. As we shoot over to the ratings, Morningstar has a 5-star rating on the Schwab S&P 500 fund, but there is no rating yet on JEPQ since it's so new. They don't have it rated. As we go into the performance, this is basically for 1 year. Even though it says 10 years, but 10 years you'll see what the S&P 500's done, which has a really good track record. JEPQ outperformed the S&P 500 last year. As you can see, we're going to go into the next slide. You could take a better look at that. The S&P 500, let me see, 1 year was 21.5, and JEPQ did 27. And year to date, JEPQ is doing a lot better than the S&P 500 index. But like I said, JEPQ's only been around like from a year and 5 or 6 months, and we're looking at a 10-year track record for the S&P. They're both great funds so far. I do invest in both funds. As you shoot over to the portfolio, you could see the net assets, which we spoke about. Total holdings for JEPQ is 90 compared to 500 for the S&P 500 fund, which is understandable. S&P 500, of course. It's JEPQ is basically in stocks, and the others are probably all call options. And the S&P 500 is basically 100% in stocks, as you can see. The top 10 holdings, very similar. Like they have 5 or 6 of the same. And as you can see, JEPQ, of course, has all these call options. We shoot over to the sector weightings. Since JEPQ is in Nasdaq, it's going to be heavy in IT, as you can see there. But you can see the breakdown. You can compare the sector weightings. As we shoot over to the market cap, they're both basically in giant and large companies, as you could see, and it's basically all in the U.S. JEPQ has small percentages in, it looks like, the Netherlands. So guys, again, do your research, talk with your financial planner before you invest in anything. But if you love income, JEPQ is definitely something to consider. Good luck, guys, and thanks for watching.